Looks like we're up and going here. Alrighty. Well, we are finally back for some more Pokemon Run&Bun. Took a little bit of a break before coming back, but I'm continuing on with my current attempt of my hardcore Nuzlocke. In my previous stream, we had completed the rest of Tate and Liza's gym, getting the gym badge and doing the heist to get the leftovers. So now we're at the beginning of the Juan split, which thankfully isn't nearly as long as the Tate and Liza split, but it's still not trivial. I've seen, other brothers have definitely still, after gotten to this point, have still lost runs that have been on this split, so definitely have to still be on my toes, but yeah, I'm really happy with this attempt so far. This is my current furthest attempt, so yeah, I really hope to see. I love to see this go all the way. I don't know if if this attempt does end up wiping, I don't know if I'll have it in me to do more attempts, because it's such a big time investment, and I'd like to try other games to Nuzlocke, but yeah, I'm just gonna see what I can do, have some fun trying to crack some puzzles with these fights here. So today we're going to be starting off with the Space Center section, which is invaded by Team Magma. So some more gimmicky fights with annoying items like Focus Bands, Quick Claws, all that stuff. So the first fight here, though, isn't pretty difficult. And thankfully there aren't a ton of fights in this section, but there are some pretty tough ones in here, the boss battles in particular. So yeah, I got the first fight planned, so I'm just gonna see how many fights I can get done for today. So I already got my team planned. Ryan Borner, how's it going, bro? Thanks for popping in. Hope you're having a good day today. This is a ROM hack of Pokemon Emerald called Run&Bun. It's updated the game with current gen mons, and it's considered one of the most difficult ROM hacks of any Pokemon game. So I'm currently doing my furthest hardcore Nuzlocke attempt of it. So let me just triple check. I have all the right items here. Lepid Berry, Citrus Berry, Asper, no item, Ampharocyte, Poison Barb. Alright, so this should be good. Let's go ahead and try out the first fight here. Alright, first team Magma Grunt. Alright, so this Grunt leads with a Steelix that has the Sturdy ability, and it's holding a Bright Powder, which makes your moves 10% less accurate, and it has the move Stealth Rocks, which, with the combination of those things, makes it almost impossible to guarantee it preventing from setting up Stealth Rocks. So what I'm going to do, because it also has the move Explosion, so with my Corviknight, I can use Defog to get rid of the Stealth Rocks if it sets it up. So I'm just going to basically stall it out until it explodes, basically. It's a 5% chance to explode at full health, So we are faster, so I'm just gonna start with a defog burst. Yeah, so there's Stealth Rock, so now I'm just gonna cycle between using Stealth Rock, Defog, and Roost until it eventually explodes. Hey, what's up, Joe? Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. Alright, so since it's got Stealth Rocks up, I'll use Defog. So basically, if Steelix uses Stealth Rocks, I'll use Defog if it attacks me with Gyro Ball. Oh, and then it just explodes. There we go. That was quicker than I thought. Alright. So, with that, this should always be Zebstrika. And Zebstrika here sees a fast KO with either Zing Zap or Overheat. I'm gonna swap to my Gliscor. Ideally on a Zing Zap, but should be fine even with the Overheat. So, go to Gliscor here. Okay, perfect. Zing Zap. Alright, and this Zebstrika is holding a Focus Band. So it has a 10% chance of surviving at 1 HP. Which is perfectly fine if it does, because if the Focus Band does proc, I can just use Knockoff to guarantee KO and remove the Focus Band. But majority of the time, it'll just get one-shot by this Earthquake as I take an Overheat. So let's see, did we get the Focus Band proc? Nope. Easy peasy. Alright, so Zebstrika goes down. This should always bring in Simisear. Alright, and Simisear also has a Focus Band. So, gotta deal with that. But right now, he has a fast KO with always HP Ice. So I'm gonna go to Gyarados, which can take it very well. And I'm holding an Aspect Berry in case of Freeze. So we'll go here. So she HP Ice. Alright, so now the highest damaging move the Simisear has on my Gyarados is Grass Knot. And like I said, it is holding a Focus Band. Waterfall from my Gyarados isn't a guaranteed one-shot. But it's okay because I have a counter plan in case if it doesn't get KO'd. Which I'd like for that to happen because it's the cooler of the lines, but I also just have a chance of just one-shotting, which is also fine. So, we're gonna go for a Waterfall here and see if it gets a KO. Oh, so we got the KO. Yeah. So, we go with the less cooler of the lines. Basically, if it had lived, it was like about a 50% chance to KO, a little less because of the Focus Band. If it had survived, I could have just swapped to Togedemaru, and Iron Barbs would have guaranteed, because Iron Barbs bypasses Focus Band, so. But the next thing that should come in, I believe, is Appleton. Yeah. Alright, so Appleton, it's either gonna set up a, Leech Seed, or it's gonna go for an attack. Either which is perfectly fine, because Sneasler I can just directly swap to. It can take any attack. Okay, so there's Dragon Pulse. We always live to crit. So now we can just go into, with a Poison Bar, fake out into Poison Jab, always KOs. Alright, perfect. If it had set up Leech Seed there, even with the Leech Seed health regain, we still would have always KO'd. So we were perfectly safe there. Alright, so now last up is their own Corviknight. Which the set it has, it's holding a weakness policy with the moves Body Press, Power Trip, and it has Agility and Iron Defense. So basically it just wants to get a bunch of stat raises and then deal a lot of damage. But right now it's most likely gonna go for Agility since my Sneasler outspeeds. So I'm just gonna go to my Ampharos, which is already slower anyways. So we're gonna go to Amphi here. Yep, so there's Agility. This will boost the Power Trip, but still won't do that much damage. So it's either gonna attack or set up. Either way, a Thunderbolt from Mega Ampharos always one-shots through the weakness policy. So it goes for a move, perfectly fine. Yeah, we eat that. And this will always one-shot. Alright. Easy peasy. Alright, so that's the first grunt. So let's go back and save and heal. Alright, cool. So let's go in and take a look at the next fight here. The next grunt has a full team of 6. But it doesn't look too terrible. So I took a little bit of a look at it, but yeah, because a Scrafty lead with Intimidate, which I have a couple of options of dealing with. So for this fight, I have a couple of options with the Scrafty lead. I can use Sneasler. I could use Primarina. I think Primarina was the better. See, if I go with Prim lead, I can pre-damage to bait either Stone Edge or Flare Blitz from Aerodactyl or Darmanitan. And then If it's Flare Blitz, let's see. I think I wouldn't want to bait out Darmanitan first. I mean, I could swap to something to bait an Earthquake. Which I could use Golisopod for. Let's see, where's he at? Yeah, because I could do... If I could bait an Earthquake, I can get an emergency exit into someone. But... Let's see, so yeah, so if I go that route, bait Flare Blitz, I can go to, like... Omastar or something to then bait Earthquake to emergency exit, and then I have a few options. I could use Barraskewda or Sneasler. Let's see, if I go Barraskewda for the KO, that would always bait Duraludon slow KO unless I pre-damage. To bait Weavile, which doesn't seem too ideal. I'd want to be able to chain KO so that Duraludon doesn't set up Stealth Rocks, so... Let's see, what if I used Hydreigon? Life with a Life Orb. That would also bait Draco Meteor. But sometimes Stealth Rock, so that wouldn't be good. I could go Sneasler. Because then... Sneasler would bait us... let's see... Sneasler would bait a fast KO from Aerodactyl with a random move, which also wouldn't be ideal. There's a lot of different pathing I could do with this fight, but I want to be careful because let's see. Yeah, this was from baiting Darmanitan. Let's see. If I instead pre-damage to bait Aerodactyl, Stone Edge, I could just go to Excadrill. I could either do a Galissapod switch or give it a Choice Scarf to outspeed in one shot with Iron Head. See, if I do that... that would bait... That would actually also always bait Duraludon, which I won't always see a KO with. Yeah, Choice Scarf Excadrill kind of stomps on most of these guys, but I do need to be careful. So probably Choice Scarf isn't the play. So if I just go Excadrill on a Stone Edge to bait Earthquake, I could do another Galissapod switch. And I could go... I could go like I can go something like Choice Specs, Electrode. And just level it up a little bit. Yeah. Choice Specs, Electrode would bait... Still slow KO from Duraludon. So that wouldn't be good. I want to try to take it out with Sneasler. Let's see, does a Fake Out plus Close Combat KO 9.4 plus 83.8. No, not even close. Let's see, what if I could use like Starmie. Starmie would bait... Choice would bait if I give it a choice card, it would be Grass Knot, Executor. But I'd want to bait it in on a Psychic instead. Let's see. So, I think maybe Prim's not probably the best lead here. Let's see if I go with Sneasler. If I go Choice Scarf Sneasler and open with a KO on the Scrafty, because I won't get intimidated. That would bait. The first thing that sees a slow KO, which would be actually Psychic from Executor. So actually, I think that would be the best lead. Because then I could go... I could go to Obstagoon pre-poisoned. But Sucker Punch isn't a guaranteed KO, unfortunately. With a Life Orb. Yeah, so I would have to use a Choice Fan to get the KO, but I wouldn't be able to use Choice Scarf on Sneasler. So let's see. I could also go let's see. So let's go back with Primarina. If I go the Prim route, I would still have to do the probably either Stone Edge or Flare Blitz lead. So let me look at the Flare Blitz option again. I would still need to go to like something like Omastar, then on Earthquake we can emergency exits into... Let's see, Star Me at full health would actually bait Night Slash. From Weavile. So I could bait Night Slash and then go Prim. Prim would bait... But the problem is then it would bait... most likely Aerodactyl from there. So I could instead pre-damage Starmie to bait Stone Edge. And then I would have to do another pivot chain. And go... I can do a second emergency exit probably. But then I don't have any more team slots to go to. Let's see something. That's gonna work. I don't have enough team slots to deal with all that. Yeah, because my only real Aerodactyl answer is either Choice Specs Electrode or let me see. Because everything else kind of just dies to this thing. So this doesn't look too viable here. Let's see, do I have another way of dealing with this Executor? Because the real problem with this is that it's got Quick Claw Explosion. Could use Dragapult maybe. Says he can't explode. He can't explode on Dragapult. I could also try going for Corviknight, but it also has Sleep Powder, which is that's a big issue. If it gets a Quick Claw Sleep Powder, that's kind of terrible. Okay, so I mean, I could pre-status to prevent that. Because I could go... If I level up and go Spell Tag, I could one-shot. And then I could pre-status to prevent Quick Claw Sleep Powder, but then I could still potentially get Quick Claw Psychic Crit. Which... yeah, I would... if I did pre-status, I would be dead after a crit. So... that doesn't seem too viable either. Let me see. Yeah, my only real counter to this is Choice Banded Sucker Punch from Obstagoon. So I need to design a line around that. Yeah, because the Life Orb just barely doesn't deal enough damage, unfortunately. So... I'll have to go the Choice Band route. And then for Aerodactyl, I think I would have to go for a... let's see, level... I would probably have to go for like a double Volt Switch chain to deal with it, because everything else kind of just dies. Yeah, if only my Barraskewda wasn't literally 0 speed IV. Okay, so let's see if see. Let me try again with the... I could also lead Wheezing, potentially. Actually, Wheezing might be better for a lead, because... Wheezing shows a guaranteed... Yeah, Wheezing show... I can use... Wheezing against Scrafty, which would always show a fast KO from Duraludon, so it won't set up Stealth Rocks. So then I could go to something... I can go like Urshifu or something. Or... Sneasler. Let's see, I have quite a few options here. Let me see. If I go Sneasler for the KO and Duraludon, that would always bait random move from Aerodactyl, so that's not probably good. Hydreigon would bait... Let's see, I could try pre-damaging to bait a low kick from Weavile. Which I could deal with either Prim or even Dragapult. When I was... The Weavile had a... has a Bright Powder, so I was wanting to go... Zoom Lens Primarina for this guy. But then Prim would still bait either Arrow or Darmanitan. So... Let's see, who else could I use? I could use Infernape. Infernape could bait... dual Wing Beat from... Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl. Which... Oh, I could also just 1v1 this with Omastar, because I can't get crit. But then Omastar would bait either Psychic or Grass Knot from Executor, which Urshifu can't take a crit Grass Knot. So... if I bait dual Wing Beat, yeah, I wouldn't have enough team slots. Alright, let's see. If I go, so if I KO, let's say if I KO with Urshifu, Urshifu would bait most likely a fast KO with Flare Blitz from Darmanitan. For that, I would have to go Omastar plus Felicipede. For emergency exit into something. I could go... Barraskewda. Or... Sneasler. Boom, boom, boom. Go you, but then that would bait random move from Aerodactyl. Let's see, I could go... Actually, after a close combat... Let's see how much... Heavy Slam can deal up to... Yeah, I don't know... I don't know if that'll work. Yeah, I mean, I have good options for each of these guys individually, but stringing it all together is a little tough. Let's see. I think the main goal is to eventually bait a slow KO from Psychic from Executor. So then I could swap into probably Choice Banded Urshifu for the KO. So Sneasler can do that. So let me try to design a line that guarantees that interaction. So I could open with a KO on Scrafty, which if I hold a Choice Scarf, oh yeah, but I can't do that because I need a Choice Band on Urshifu for the one shot, so I could also go I could also lead with Urshifu to bait a dual wing beat from Aerodactyl. Because then I could go someone like Togi to then bait a Earthquake. Which I could then do the Golisopod emergency exit. Or I could just go straight to... Let's see, if I level up Omastar to 85, I could one-shot with Surf. And then if I hold a... Omastar would always bait fast KO from Duraludon. But if I go directly to I mean, I could bait a Draco Meteor from Duraludon. which I could go Wheezing into Urshifu, or oh, I think I see something. Okay, so I lead Choice Band, Urshifu, KO the Scrafty. Free damage to bait, dual wing beat after the defense drop. We go Togi. Or not even Togi, we can just go Omastar. Level up to 85 to one-shot with Surf. I can hold a Citrus Berry, so then I can guarantee a Draco Meteor fast KO from Duraludon, which won't set up Stealth Rocks. We could go Wheezing back into Urshifu for the KO. Let's see, Urshifu, if I KO with Urshifu, that would bait a fast KO from Darmanitan with most likely Flare Blitz. And then from there, I can switch around to get, let's see. Or I could KO with something. I think KOing with something else would be better. Oh yeah, so I think I have it. So I KO I KO Duraludon with Hydreigon. And I could pre-damage to bait a fast KO with Low Kick on Weavile. I can go back to Wheezing, holding a Zoom Lens to two-shot with Strange Steam, which should bait a fast KO with Psychic from Executor. And then I can go back to Urshifu with the Choice Band and guarantee one shot with Sucker Punch. This would then just leave Darmanitan going for fast KO with Flare Blitz, which then I can just do the pivot chain into Golisopod. for the KO. Or the... Yeah, I think I've got something here now. Yeah, because after I KO... Let's see, if I level up Wheezing... I don't think I need to level him up. Let's see. So let's go over this again. We lead KO, Urshifu, free Toxic, free damage to always bait, dual wing beat, Aerodactyl. We go Omastar, Citrus Berry to get the KO with Surf. This baits a fast KO Draco from Duraludon. We go Wheezing, slightly pre-damaged, and then Hydreigon for a guarantee one-shot Draco. Pre-damage to bait fast KO from Weavile with low kick. We go back to Wheezing with Zoom Lens to two-shot with Strange Steam. We should bait fast KO Psychic. We go back to Urshifu. KO with Choice Banded Sucker Punch. Which would just leave Darmanitan, Flare Blitz. So we could possibly go back to Omastar to bait Earthquake from onto Golisopod to emergency exit into something for the KO. Let's see, but let's see. Omastar is gonna take quite a bit of damage though. Let me see. Let's see, at level 85, 2 max roll. So max roll, dual wing beat into max roll Earthquake will leave me at 34.2%. Plus Citrus would leave me at 59.2. Which means if I took a max roll Flare Blitz from Darmanitan, is 25.4. I wouldn't always be... I would also be potentially baiting in Rock Slide, so I would have to bring in something else for the pivot. Oh, what I could do... If I could bait an Earthquake... If I could bait an Earthquake, I could go to... And I could use a Life Orb on Hydreigon to outspeed one shot with... Draco Meteor. Yeah, so I could just go... I could bring Caracosta. Which will always play Earthquake. I could go back to Hydreigon for the KO. I would just have to be careful with the pre-damaging and have to consider the Life Orb. Level him up to 86 minimum. And he is also gonna take a Heavy Slam. So let's see. I need to guarantee a fast KO from a fast KO from Weavile with low kick, which I could do at the max roll since he won't use Sword Sand since he sees I can slow KO. So I need to go minimum 72.3%. Plus a 10 from one Life Orb use. Plus minimum Heavy Slam is 14.2. So I'd have to slightly pre-damage to 96.5% health. If I took a max roll crit Heavy Slam from the Duraludon. See, oh actually, with this, I have one team slot left. So to avoid any crit randomness, I could bring Golisopod to emergency exit on the Heavy Slam into Hydreigon, and then I can go Life Orb on Hydreigon for the KO. Which would make the pre-damaging a lot easier, because it's just 10%. So then, I can always guarantee fast KO low kick. We go... let's see, Wheezing. And I just have to make sure I am... So for Wheezing, I need a pre-damage to 92.3%. The most damage I would expect to take would be a crit low kick plus a crit plus 2 crit ice shards. So that'd be -6 from a low kick. And then -2 max roll crit ice shards would be -36.5. Let's see, I would always live, but... I would be potentially baiting Grass Knot from Executor, so... Let's see, what if instead I used Pain Split? The problem is that the Weavile could go for a Swords Dance since it doesn't see that I KO it. So... You could also go for Swords Dance into Maxwell Crit. Which wouldn't be good either. So what if I leveled up? If I leveled up Wheezing to the cap, then I would have to pre-damage to 75.9. And then if I took, let's see, max roll, low kick would be 4.6. Minus 2 max roll crit eye charge is 29.6. That would be the same results. So max roll 2, if I go with this line, I think I would have to risk 2 max roll crits. Unless I try going with something else. But I don't really have much other options. Let's see, I wonder why the calc here for the heavy slam on my Primarina seems kind of off. I feel like this should definitely deal way more damage to me. This heavy slam from the Duraludon. Because it's like a basically guaranteed KO on my Weezing, which has way more defense. I don't know how that works. I mean, if I just go with regular Weezing, I think even one max roll crit would be fine. Let me see. Pre-damaged at 92.3. If I took one max roll crit low kick, minus 1 max roll eye shard crit, minus just a regular max roll, that'll leave me at 25, which would be outside of Grass Knot range. see. If I get unlucky and get 2 actual crits, I might have to go... See, I don't really have any other switches, though. Is there any other options here? The zoom... I have to hold zoom lens. I can't hold a citrus berry. I think I have to risk the double crit. If it does happen, then I would have to risk Urshifu. But if I switch Urshifu on a Grass Knot, he just dies. But from the pre-damaging plus the pre-toxic damage. It has to be guaranteed Psychic. So... I mean, at worst, I could potentially sack my Caracosta if I do get that unlucky, so that I can just get Urshifu in for free. I can't use Golisopod since he will always activate emergency exit. Yeah, I don't really see much other options. So I think I just have to go with this and hope I don't get unlucky. plays here. Let's see, one thing I could also do, actually, is I could level up the Lysopod to always live a Draco and proc emergency exit to get the switch into Hydrate Gone. Which, if I do that... but that wouldn't really help me much either. So the whole point of this is to beta fast KO from Executor with Psychic, so it doesn't explode. Is there any other guys I could use? Could I potentially use Nuzlocke instead? I use, let's say, Brick Break or something. That would be too inconsistent. Yeah, the scariest thing that could happen here is after I swap Weezing in, Weavile sets up a Swords Dance and then gets a crit Ice Shard, which is a lot more likely to happen than 2 actual crits. Let me see. 92.3 minus 70.5 is 21. Okay, so actually, if I did a double, because even though Weezing is going to take a lot, very, very low damage from low kick, it would probably be better to, if I swap it in without taking damage, that would increase my odds significantly, because a max roll plus 2 Ice Shard won't put me in range of Grass Knot. Because if I pre-damage to 92.3, a Swords Dance boosted Ice Shard crit does at max 70.5. Which would leave me at 21.8, which is just outside of Grass Knot range. So that would increase the odds significantly of this being successful. So I would just have to, because I'm doing 2 exits with Golisopie. So I'm taking a Heavy Slam and a Low Kick. So let me see if I could make that work. Yeah, because that'd be bait. So I KO Urshifu, bait dual wing beat, you go Omastar, bait Draco, go you, and then yeah, so Heavy Slam would be first, so I have to calculate this. So let's see, current max HP on Duraludon is 229, so less than or equal to 114 HP. So let's see. My starting HP has to be greater than 114. Let's see here. Min roll damage. Heavy Slam deals 13, so X minus 13 has to be less than 114. And then max roll crit heavy slam deals 24, so X minus 24 plus citrus berry heal, which is 57. Has to then be greater than 114. Actually, greater than or equal to 114. So, yeah, that's within range, and then X minus 13 plus 57 minus min roll low kick would be 29. Would have to be less than or equal to 114. That looks like it's not gonna work. That's not guaranteed. So I might have to switch Hydreigon on a heavy slam. So let's see. If I do that, I need to end up at 62.2 health. Plus 10 from 1 life orb use, plus min roll heavy slam deals 14.3. After pre-damage to 86.8. If I take a max roll heavy slam, which is 26%, minus 10% from life orb, that would leave me at 50. Which would still only bait fast KO. Okay, good, so that wouldn't bait Ice Shard from Weavile. So I actually could guarantee low kick if I take Hydreigon, if I let it take a heavy slam. So that means I could get the guaranteed Golisopod emergency exit on Weavile into Weezing, which will greatly increase the odds of being successful. So then from there, if everything goes good, I'm high enough HP to always bait just Psychic. Again, we go Urshifu Choice Banded Sucker Punch, which just leaves Flare Blitz. From Darmanitan. Okay, so I think this could actually work. The pre-damaging just has to be very precise. So yeah, let's get this set up, and then this will probably be my last fight for today, because this took a while to cook up. Alright, so let's see, we need Urshifu. We need Weezing. We need Omastar. We need Dragon. We need Caracosta. And we need Golisopod. Alright, I have to go use the bathroom really quick. I'll be right back, and then we'll set this up. Alright. Let's go ahead and do this here. So, we finally get the first opportunity to use one of the chance items here, which is pretty fun. So I think we have to go to Slateport. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so this guy, since I stole the leftovers from Peyton Liza, I could swap the leftovers for any one of these items at a time. So I'm going to swap my leftovers for the choice band. Alright, so let's go back. Oh, no, wrong place. I want to go to Lost Ape. There we go. Alright, so we need Choice Band on Urshifu. We need a Citrus for Omastar. We need Zoom Lens. Well, we need Life Orb for Hydreigon. Zoom Lens for Weezing. Rostberry for Caracosta. And that should be it. So then for the pre-damaging, this is the most important part. So for Urshifu, I need to pre-toxic him. So, which means he's going to take 1 tick of toxic after I KO the Scrafty after turn 1. So, let's see, minimum dual wing bait deals 204 HP after defense drop from close combat. So then I need to add, let's see, 6.25% or 1/16. So, one turn of Toxic would deal 18 damage. So, plus 18. Plus 18. So I need a pre-damage. I need a pre-damage Urshifu to 222 HP. So let me do that. So that should always bait pass KO. Dual wing beat from Aerodactyl after the toxic damage. So then after that, that always baits dual wing beat into Omastar. See, I need Omastar to be at 85, level 85 to guarantee one shot with Surf. So let me do that. So then, so even after a max roll, Earthquake and dual wing beats, I'd always be at 59.2% minimum, which always guarantees only Draco Meteor from Duraludon. So then we go Weezing. Weezing needs to be pre-damaged to 182 HP. So let's do that. Alright, good. Then Hydreigon. I need to level up once to level 86. And then at level 86, I need to be at 158 plus min heavy slam, which is 37, plus life orb damage, which is 26. So I need a pre-damage to 221 HP on Hydreigon. Damage. Alright. And then just to triple check, max roll heavy slam deals 67. Minus 26 from life orb. At minimum, I would be at 128 HP. Which is always outside of Stone Edge range from Aerodactyl. Well, actually, Aerodactyl's already dead, so I don't have to worry about that. But it'll always be outside of Ice Shard range from the Weavile. So then I'd always bait low kick. So then I just need to pre-damage Golisopod to, let's see, 114 plus minimum is 29. So 143 HP for Golisopod. So then we go Wheezing, KO with 2 strange teams, which hopefully if we don't get super bad luck should always be Psychic from Executor. Which we one-shot with Choice Banded Sucker Punch. Then always bait Flare Blitz. And then I don't need to pre-damage Caracosta because Darmanitan doesn't have any setup moves. That should always bait Earthquake. Hydreigon on Earthquake and KO with Life Orb Draco. Alright, I think this should work. And then I just need to remember to pre-toxic Urshifu before the fight starts. everything looks good. Just looking over my calcs one last time. I got a glare coming through the window. It's messing with the green screen here. Making sure I'm not missing anything. Nothing looks to be off here, so I think we're good to go for this. It's a little scary, but the Weeball is the only scary part, and then just making sure I didn't forget anything. Let's go at, I think we're good. Let's go in and go for this. And then, let's see, so we fought this guy, next fight's over here. So let me pre-toxic Urshifu. And then let me just check one thing here before we start. Let me save actually. Okay, yeah, we should be good. Okay. Bit of a scarier fight. Jonathan Keynes, what's up in the chat, bro? Thanks for popping in. Hope you're having a good day today. I'm just doing all my last little preparations before this next battle here. But I think I've looked over everything and we should be good to go. So yeah. Let's go and do this. Alright. Team Magma Grunt Zerk. Alright, so this guy has a pretty scary team. But I think I found a good line around it. So to start off with, the Scrafty here leads with Intimidate. However, with the Choice Band, my Urshifu with Close Combats will still outspeed and one-shot it. So we'll start with that, and then after the Close Combat and the Toxic damage, we should always be baiting in Aerodactyl. So we'll start with the Close Combat one-shot. So Scrafty will get KO'd, and then we'll take some Toxic, which should leave us at 204 HP. Perfect. So after the defense drop, we always bait Aerodactyl, which will always go for a dual wing beat here at this HP. It has the move Dragon Dance, but because it sees a fast KO, it can't use it. So it's always going to go for the dual wing beat here. So knowing that, we're going to go to Omastar, which can take it very well. And this Aerodactyl can be scary because it's holding a Scope Lens to raise its critical hit chance. But my Omastar has Shell Armor, so we don't have to worry about that. So we're just going to take a Earthquake as I go for the KO with a Surf. So Surf KOs. We have Citrus Berry, raises our HP back up a bit. Next up should always be Duraludon. Perfect. Alright, and Duraludon here has Stealth Rocks as one of its moves, which it wants to set up, but because it sees right now a fast KO with only Draco Meteor, he can't use Stealth Rocks. So, knowing he's going to go for a Draco, I'm going to swap to my Weezing Galarian, who will be immune to the Draco. Perfect. And now, Duraludon sees a fast KO with Heavy Slam, so again, it can't use Stealth Rocks. So I'm going to go to my Hydreigon, which will take a little bit of damage from the incoming Heavy Slam here. Perfect. So this will be a little bit. Nice. And then now, I am holding a Life Orb, and let me see here. Let me just triple check here. With the Life Orb, I could go for the KO with Draco Meteor, but I could also KO with Aura Sphere. So to make things consistent, I think that would be the better move to go for here. Yeah. Yeah, because Draco will drop my special attack. So we can outspeed and one-shot with a Life Orb boosted Aura Sphere. Alright. We'll take a bit of Life Orb, which is accounted for. And this should always bring in Weavile. Alright, and because of the pre-damage, it sees a guaranteed KO with always low kick. Fast KO. So knowing that, I'm gonna go to my Galicified who's pre-damage so I can get an emergency exit off. So low kick, pulling us below half. Oh, why did... Wait, that should have procced emergency exit. Oh, I guess, I think I pre-damaged 1 HP too high. This should be fine. Because it's just gonna go for Night Slash, which we always live even a crit. And we show a KO with First Impression, so it can't use Sword Stand. So it has to use. So we can just go for. I can just go for an attack as it uses Night Slash here. So. Yeah, I could just go for like Liquidation. But this should be perfectly fine. Yeah, there's a Night Slash. Wait, why didn't our... Hold up. Why isn't my... Why isn't the emergency exit activating? The emergency exit should have guaranteed I've activated there. Is there a bug that's going on here? Let me see. Yeah, no, I should have triggered emergency exit there. That's so weird. Is it... The Weavile doesn't have Sheer Force, it has Inner Focus as its ability. Which shouldn't counteract emergency exit. Yeah, I have no idea why emergency exit didn't proc there. It should have, because I pre-damaged to be at or below half health after that low kick. So I have no idea why that didn't trigger. Because that's not good, because now I have to go to wheezing on an attack. Which I think actually puts me in the same position, because with the liquidation... Okay. Well, I think I'm in the same position, but I don't know what happened there. Emergency exit should have definitely procced. Because the point was so that I could... because the Weavile here is holding a bright powder, so I wanted to emergency exit into my Weezing, which is holding a zoom lens, to deal with this, but now I have to directly switch into it on a Night Slash here, and really hope it doesn't crit. Let's see no crit, please. Thank you. Alright, so I think from here we should be fine. Because now, with the zoom lens, I counteract Weavile's Bright Powder, and I can now guarantee one shot with a Strange Steam, as it goes for an Ice Shard. So we should be, the line should be intact still. Yeah. Alright. Okay, I have no idea what happened there, but the line's still intact, so we can keep going here. But that was very weird. Alright, so Executor always comes in. And Executor, this one's is the scary guy on this team, because he has a Quick Claw and Explosion. And Sleep Powder. So very scary to deal with. But in this position right now, Executor sees a guaranteed fast KO with only Psychic, which it has to go for because it out-prioritizes it using Explosion or Sleep Powder. So knowing that, I can now safely go back to my Urshifu, who is immune to the incoming Psychic here. Yep, perfect. We'll take a little bit of Toxic. Alright, and then now, the Executor here, it has Sleep Powder, but because I'm already statused, he can't use it, so I don't have to worry about Quick Claw Sleep Powder. So he has to attack with either Grass Knot or Explosion, both of which are attacking moves, which means, because of the choice bands, I can always one-shot with Sucker Punch, which, because of priority, even if Executor gets the Quick Claw proc, I would still out-prioritize and get the one-shot without taking damage. So, Sucker Punch always out-prioritizes and gets the one-shot here with the choice band. Perfect. Yeah, like I said, if we had saw a Quick Claw proc there, we would have still gone first. So we'll take a little bit more Toxic. So now all that's left is a Sheer Force Life Orb Thermanitin that wants to deal a bunch of damage. But right now, it only sees a KO on my Urshifu with Flare Blitz. So we can safely go to my Caracosta, which could take it pretty well. And I'm holding a Ross Berry in case of burn as well. There's a Flare Blitz. Alright. Now we're baiting a highest damaging move with Earthquake. So now we can go back to Hydreigon, which, because of Levitate, I won't be affected by the Earthquake here. Perfect. And then now we can just, with a Life Orb, outspeed and always one-shot with a Draco Meteor. Alright. Whew, okay. Made it through, but it's... The that emergency exit not proccing on my Galissapod was really weird. I don't know. I have no idea why that happened. Yeah, like as far as I know, there shouldn't be any weird interaction with inner focus when it comes to emergency exit, but I guess I should be a little bit more careful with the pre-damaging then. Alright, but we got 2 fights down. It took a while for me to plan out that second fight, so I'm gonna go ahead and pause there for now. So yeah, we'll pick up again in another stream, but I really appreciate anyone who stopped in to watch. Hope everyone has a great rest of the day, and I'll see everyone in my next stream.